Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. So, there is no industry where the gap between the sourcing, so the gold and the stones coming out of the earth, and the final product that we buy in a retail shop is that high than in the jewelry industry. The supply chain here is very long and very complicated, and I will come back to that. But if you ask your retailer about the origin of your piece, he will probably tell you something like the gold comes out of the earth, goes to the refinery, then in the markets, and after being produced, you can buy a ring in a store. But that's not the full truth. So they even don't know where the materials are coming from. So, as Stefan already said, my family works in this business since 70 years. It all started with my grandfather with a wholesale, and then my parents changed it to a worldwide known company for design, for producing, and for sale. And I was born in this world surrounded by beauty and luxury, and played with diamonds and jewelry in the same of my father when all my friends played with Lego. And I shared my family's life, and it was all really normal to me, nothing special about these diamonds. And but there's also the other world of this luxury business, and it's a really superficial world. It's kind of unreal. Everything is very perfect, and I met a lot of people who were more interested in values like power and status and money than in the beauty and aesthetic of the pieces. So even though I love beautiful things, I decided to never work in this industry. Then I got the opportunity to work at a social business called betterplace.org. It's a fundraising platform, and I was really happy because I always love to support people and taking care of something, taking my responsibility, being a family person were not only values my parents gave to me, but also the most important drive in my life. So working there was just feeling perfect, and I had the feeling that I found my way, and I was absolutely happy. And then my father died, and I had to take the decision if I accept the inheritance of my parents. And I said yes. But why? Because it was still a company in the luxury industry, and I didn't have this connection. So first of all, I'm the only child of my parents, and I really do respect and appreciate my family's life work. And in some way, I had a feeling, yes, you should do that. There's something lying here for you. So I was young, and as you can see, I'm a female, and this is really hard in this business. And I tried to serve an existing system of luxury. So suddenly I found myself working in a very, very tough business, and I gave dinner parties for rich women, hoping with a lot of champagne they will buy a piece at the end, but they didn't. So I was not just feeling really unhappy with my new situation, there was also no success in business, and this was really bad, so I was completely desperate. Then a friend of mine introduced me to an artist from Amsterdam, and she told me about her traveling to Ouro Verde. Ouro Verde is the only gold mine in the world sourcing their gold without toxic. So it was a really interesting information for me, and I started with some research, and I found out that there is a small movement for ethically sourced gold, so-called green gold. And I wanted to be a part of it. So I decided to produce all the new collections of our company in this good gold, because that was the way for me to connect with this company. So first of all, let me introduce you to some facts of this gold mining. you can see that that was taken in a mine. So the problem, or the traditional way of sourcing gold, harms people and the environment a lot. You have two different ways. There is the large-scale mining, where you have less manpower, you have big machines, and you have big companies working behind and also controlling the whole supply chain over there. And then you have the small-scale mining. And there are communities of more or less 2,000 to 3,000 people settled down in the mountains somewhere. And you have small villages over there with internet cafes and little shops and even a gas station. But there is also no water and a really big lack of education. So this work in the small-scale mines is really labor-intense, and they are all self-organized, they are all independent, and they have to look after each other by their own. And they don't have nothing there. I mean, they don't have equipment to take things out of the earth, and as you need mercury to separate the gold from the rock, they use it a lot. And as you probably know, mercury is one of the most toxical thing that we have, and they really don't have protection. So what they are doing is that they clean their stations and taking the mercury out of their holes by hand without protection, and they are breathing in the smell of the mercury, and it's really heavy for the nervous system and for the health. So after this research, I asked myself, which working conditions are we willing to accept when it comes to luxury in our lives? So I went to Peru to talk to the people, to see what they are doing over there and what we can do working in the industry. So I wanted to do something, but first of all, I had to see what they are doing. So we went there, and as I told you, there is this movement of ethical source gold, and there are just a few mines in this world which are certificated. And that means after the certification process, there is more equipment, more technical equipment for them. They are better organized, they have more protection, and when it comes to selling the gold, they get an eco-premium of 10%. And with this eco-premium, they have the chance to reinvest in their community for health or infrastructure, education. So it's really important for them. So I visit one of these mines, and you really could see that it is better for them, that it is a great chance for them. But I visited also a traditional mine, and this was really, really hard for me, because in this small-scale mines, just for you to understand, there are 20 million people in this world working directly in these mines, and 100 million in this world are dependent on it. So that's quite a big figure. And so I was in this community. You can see a picture here. It is really like this. They're going into the mountains, where you can see there, and working with this toxic, and it's such a hard work. And we had our translator with us, and when you go there, it smells really weird after just toxic things, and it's really high, and the sun is burning, but at the same time it's really cold, and our translator lost her consciousness. So we were standing there, what should we do now? I mean, they don't have nothing over there, and with some water and some fresh herbs, we get a control. But it was really weird, and I'm absolutely sure that we didn't see the people who were really sick there, so they hide it from us. But when I went there and I talked to the people, they all told me the same. They are willing to change their minds into responsible ones, but there is just this little demand on the world market. So they're really afraid to invest in this process of transformation, because you need some money for that as well. And the big concern they have is what happens if nobody buys our responsible gold. So at this point I realized how deeply our decision to buy something is connected with the people at the source. And I thought we have to do something. So I founded the Earthbeat Foundation, not only to help people over there, but to really move the whole industry. So we're just starting, but the Earthbeat Foundation pictures a positive vision of the industry, because that's possible. And with creating awareness for the topic and appreciate this work the people are doing there, we hope that we can bring well-being to them at the other side. But not just to them, I mean to everybody, because if they are happy and working, so we can all connect together. And but that's not the only thing for founding a foundation. We have to think about, with every decision for buying a fine jewelry piece, we have a huge impact on the other side. So we have to ask ourselves, is it a real luxury good when people on the other side live under these bad conditions and risk their lives, that we can buy a piece in a jewelry store? And I don't think that this is real luxury. So for me, real luxury is going to people, talk to them, take the responsibility we have, cooperate with them on the same level to bring well-being to everybody. And a real luxury piece, it is then a real luxury piece when it creates value, or the greatest value, for everybody who gets in touch with it. So we have to think about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.